Okay, welcome to one of our initial podcasts here at Primus Builders. We certainly love leveraging technology. We want to give an update on the status of our 2023 initiatives, and we've been hard at work here at Primus. Matt Hott is going to be interviewing me. He's got a series of fantastic questions that we're going to be able to share with the group, hopefully provide an update and give you a lot of our whys. We did it.
Thanks for having me, Eric. Looking forward to this. Today, our focus is going to be on the strategic initiative around the business operating system, or the BOS. Let's start by defining that. To you,
Sure.
What does that mean?
No, that great call. So we certainly live in the land of acronyms, and this is our newest one, but it really does a fantastic job summing up, trying to organize the way that Primus does business into a singular document for those that are new to us as we continue to grow, having a roadmap on how we do stuff. And we recognize that it's a work in progress, but we certainly have a really beyond a good start with a BOS. So the goal of it, I guess, Matt, to sum it up, is we are providing a roadmap on how Primus goes to business from pre-construction all the way through to delivery and execution of a project.
Yeah, I think it's really great the work you guys have done. Incorporating the agendas, meeting minutes, and task lists into it. I mean, it's really become a robust system. You know, there's a lot of hard work that went into it, I'm sure.
Can I do a shout out here?
Of course.
Becca Vogel, without her and certainly Tony's input, but Becca Vogel was a huge part of the success of getting this published and the continuation of its improvement. So a big thank you to Becca.
Yeah, and while we're talking about all the improvements that have been put into it, you know, what were some of the facts or interesting items that came to light when you guys were going through the review and update and all that?
Well, we found that there was a lot of good content, but it wasn't necessarily consistent. So, you know, we found a lot of pre-construction conferences that had good content, but it was bits and pieces. There was a shout out to Ron Wald. There was the Ron Wald edition. There was the Rich O'Connell edition. And what we wanted to do was take all the best parts of each of those, incorporate those into a singular document, which is really what we've done here.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that's in there. I mean, I think when you guys were going through the review process, you guys actually had everything printed out. And was it 3 4-inch binders?
It was 3 or 4 3D, three ring D-ring binders. It was a tremendous amount of information, and we certainly can print those for anybody that would like one. But being able to navigate through My Primus and Procore would be the more expeditious way to get this information.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. You know, the way you guys were able to get it digitized. So, you know, we work all over the country. We've got people in several different states. So being able to, you know, access that through Procore, not have to carry around those books with them, you know, was a really good idea. So now that we've got it rolled out, you know, what kind of feedback have you gotten on it and stuff that you've taken into consideration for future use?
I think certainly some of our newer employees have found it to be very useful. You know, one of our goals, in addition to the business operating system, was talent management and giving roadmaps and reviews for our new hires. And certainly have gotten feedback from them that it's beneficial. And then some of our younger staff, you know, our field engineers, our assistant supers, our assistant APMs. I love it when they look there first and then come with a question if the BOS doesn't answer that. So I think we're getting pretty good traction, and I myself have even used it. There's certainly some great content in terms of closeout meetings, closeout processes, and there's good reminders. I feel like it's if we follow that, Primus Builders will be more successful than we've ever have been, and that's probably the biggest why behind it. If we can follow this roadmap, we're going to execute to a higher level, a higher standard than our competitors.
Around that, you know, a lot of it's very construction heavy content. Do you guys have plans to incorporate, you know, the solutions, activities and design into that?
100%. And design is certainly part of it right now. I mean, with us being a design build firm, it's imperative that both design and pre-construction and construction are really doing a good job collaborating, understanding what's in the deal, what's not in the deal, what's in the drawings, what's not in the drawings, what shouldn't be in the drawings that are in the drawings. So a lot of collaboration goes through as a project moves through Primus Builders. So there's a good bit of meeting cadence and topics within the meetings that are covered in the BOS that, again, really make us deliver a much better, consistent product that we've priced right.
Got it. No, that makes sense. So, obviously this is a living, breathing document, and we're gonna make sure that we keep this document or all these documents at the forefront of everybody's brain. So what are some of the plans for the future as far as trainings or anything like that?
Well, as we rolled it out, Becca did a really good job advising on if items are in there that may be inconsistent, and we've identified that there certainly is some of that. Let your supervisor know, let Becca know, do not change it. And that gets a little bit into how we manage our documents. I think we're going to talk about that in just a moment or so. But we're having quarterly meetings where it's a bit of a roll the dice, open up anything that we would choose to, and ensure that it's consistent and really is the roadmap that we want it to be for people.
That makes sense. Speaking of how you rolled it out, I thought it was pretty interesting that you guys rolled it out through a video, training video type thing. So can you talk a little bit about that and, what drove that decision?
Well, Matt, that's a great question. We believe, rolling out the video was an expeditious way for us to have a training tutorial. We have found great success on that as we have released other training seminars for safety and what have you. And, many of us at the organization are visual learners. We're looking at drawings and being able to have the frame of reference on a screen together with a voice, engaging us. We found it had a lot of traction. I think we had a 100% pass rate. So bravo, Team Primus.
Great job, everyone. So you had mentioned the DMS, and along with the business operating system initiative, some of that was, we talked about the DMS, the manual updates and trainings. Do you have any updates on those that you guys will be working on or have been working on?
Sure. Well, I think the vision of the organization, while it's important what we're doing next week and next month and a quarter from now, really we're trying to look out half a decade and points further. And what we've identified is as the organization's grown, providing a level of consistency to our customers really important. And the DMS, the document management system, really tried to consolidate and provide consistency that we have a singular change order that goes to owners. We don't live in a perfect world. We do have to yield to them from project to project, but by and large, having consistent documentation and controlling said documentation was very important to Primus. So several years ago, we developed the DMS. We've deployed that, we've nurtured that, we've maintained that, and I think that the business operating system just only enhances what the goal there was. So it's that there is a change order, there is generally a control report, but again, we're always looking to improve. So as we enhance a control report look, that will be updated in the document management system, and every employee will have a baseline to go and fetch the documents that they need.
It's pretty amazing. These all these initiatives we're talking about, within the BMS, with learning management system, with business analytics. I mean, sometimes I pause and think back to, where you were at 23 years ago when you guys started this company, and I just want to know, like, did you ever imagine the company growing to this, but having all this great tools at people's disposal?
Great question. Absolutely no. I'm surprised. I'm humbled. I'm honored to be surrounded by the folks that are with Primus right now. We're a better organization, I think, today than we have been in a while. I think that having the functionality versus personality is going to enable us to grow as an organization. I do need to give that credit to Randy Jennings. Matt, when we started the business, I think we were a bit more mavericky in how we went to business. I think that there was more risk that was taken. And as we have grown, we've had customers that have come along with us that want to engage us based on our expertise and are also paying us to mitigate risk for ourselves and for them to create successful projects. So, we've evolved along the way. Gosh, we're nearly 2.5 decades into it. proud of where we're at, but more importantly, guys, I'm proud of where we're going. And I'm not talking about a year from now. I'm talking about 25 years from now. This is a sustainable entity. We're looking at succession planning, and there's a lot of good folks within the organization that can carry the torch as we move forward. And we're just trying to lay the groundwork to make it easier for them to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, all the hard work that we put into making our projects successful, obviously that's the main focus. But I want to point out that I appreciate the time that people have put into making this initiative such a success. You mentioned Tony Dembicki and you mentioned Becca. Just want to make sure you're not missing anybody that you want to give a shout out to.
Matt, yeah. I mean, there's several. All of the departments were engaged as we developed this. So, one near and dear to you, accounting. I mean, it's imperative that we get invoices out on a monthly basis. And it's amazing, folks, that we can take things for granted, but there's a discipline that's required to do that. Thank you for that. And there's a lot of support as we're developing new customers and their need for substantiated billing. So great example, an SOP for RL Cold may be very different than an SOP for invoicing Saxum. And it's something that morphs and we learn. But yeah, it's the sum of all the parts that went into this. And it's, again, while construction certainly had a heavy hand, it's the support of the other departments that makes everybody successful.
Awesome. Well, I was not looking for a shout out at all. Just wanted to make sure that we didn't leave anyone out. That was the important part. Well, again, I want to thank you for having me in today to talk about this. I'm really excited about it. You guys have done amazing work with it. And, I look forward to seeing future updates and keeping this at the forefront of everybody's mind and make sure we're using it as a tool for reference. So thank you.
You're welcome. Good stuff.